Well, hello. Welcome back to another episode on Bob with the Rustenuts here at Mad Forward Engineering. And tonight we are bolting more stuff back on, basically.
Yeah.
It's the mad rush now. I say mad rush, it's not, is it? We're actually quite calm, but it's the final flurry to get everything back on. 2 weeks time, isn't it? Pretty much just under now. We're going to get Bob into the booth, get him repainted, so do the sort of the light coat across the top to bring it all matte, because you know we've had that issue with the different finishes, so that should get done. Liam's currently putting in the oil bath air filter box and the carb elbow which runs across the top of the engine, nicely finished in gloss black, so it looks a bit fancy.
Fancy.
So yeah, things are really coming along nicely. I'm having a look at the Convoy Light on the back, see if I can work out how that fits. So I need to go and check out another one just to make sure I'm mounting it correctly. Looks like it goes on the back of the NATO electrical socket, from what I can see.
Okay.
But I don't remember that, so I need to check it out. And yeah, we're just going to crack on and try and get as much done as we can. The dash, Mick has very kindly got most of the electricals all working now, so he's got the dash in. This isn't fully in yet because we might need to tape some stuff up behind there, but overall everything pretty much working now. Rear light still need wiring in, but everything up here works. Horn works, indicators, headlights, all that jazz works nicely. As you can see. So we'll bring you along for all the little bits we're doing. It's going to be a bit sketchy, kind of like the last couple of videos, but just want to keep you updated really with what we're up to. So let's get working. Right, I am going to be looking at the Convoy Light. So I just need to whip this bit off here, the actual light, because it's mounted the wrong way around. So the bracket sits like that onto the cross member, and then the light points down at the road. So I guess it illuminates the surface of the road and kind of reflects the light up onto the diff, so that then if you're following in convoy you can see the diff dimly lit. I guess you don't want to illuminate it too much. You can see our cool diff pan there, adorned with our faces by the wonderful artwork by Andy. So it mounts, this camera's not very good in low light, but it'll mount just up under here somewhere, wherever my finger is. So I'll flip that round, get it underneath. I'll see if we've got holes for it, because it's a new cross member. So if we haven't, get the holes in and fit it. What is lovely is on a Series, you have loads of space underneath without even jacking it up. It's slide pretty much. I probably struggle with the diff, but go either side of it. That's wonderful. I'm just talking to the camera. Like on Angus, I couldn't get underneath him like this. This thing is awesome. So I'm just putting the holes here in the rear cross member, and then should be pretty simple. Bolt it in. We need to cut the wire on the Convoy Light so it's not crazy long like it currently is. Fit a bullet connector and plug it in up here, and we should be done. Hello, you joined me under the vehicle, and the Convoy Light is fitted, so...
Do you want me to turn it on?
Oh, look at that! Look at it! Yes, hang on, do it again, let's see if it lights up. Yes, hang on, let's take that out of the way. See, it illuminates the diff pan. Is it, turn it off? Yeah, that makes absolutely no difference, but it looks great. So there we go, one Convoy Light fitted. Right, little sit rep, we are packing up for tonight. So, we've made a start on the wiring at the back. Liam has done a grand job going through these with the test meter, figuring out what is what. So this side is connected up correctly. Mick came in and said actually what we should do really is earth it first and then go through the wires. So that's, Liam's made up the earths.
So we've got two earth straps here. So on Thursday when we come down, first thing we need to do is find a suitable point, grind it back so we get a good earth on both sides, and then they go into...
They're like the sockets on there, aren't they?
Yeah, hang on. So earth, from a suitable earth position, you can see these cables are quite these cameras don't focus very well, but it's a thicker cable because we're going to run 3 earths, low power earths, bearing in mind this is 24 volts, so you don't need the same thickness of cable, but going through a big cable to an earth point, so we get a nice good connection. And then all of the earths go to one place on either side. And then it was just a case of us working out, because we had a look at the manual, the Haynes manual, and nothing made sense. So it was a case of basically just connecting wires until the lights came on, which is not necessarily the way I'd recommend to do it. If you're going to do this, follow the correct guides.
You did find the ground first, didn't you, the earth?
Yeah, you need to find the earth first, which in this case is these. What we couldn't work out is whether it was earth through a cable to the body or whether it was just earth to the body, but it's earth to the body. So each set of lights on all 4 corners has a earth to the body in some way, which ultimately earths to the chassis and then to the gearbox, the engine, etc., to create your circuit. So that's what we're going to do on Thursday, is connect those up, and then the wiring is done. In fact, if we do a little example, everything's starting to get masked up now, ready for paint, but you should be able to see if we put that
side
one.
Yep.
So that's side lights.
Yep.
Then we've got
indicators
and main beam.
Yeah.
The Convoy Light, as you've seen, works underneath. We did spend a little bit of time trying to work out why the number plate light wouldn't work, but then it turns out that the bulbs were taken out because the bulbs were 12 volt and it's a 24 volt system. So we were trying to work out why something that didn't have bulbs in it wouldn't work. We're also trying to investigate, hence the reason why the seat is off, and the plate to the fuel tank. We were trying to work out why the fuel gauge, when you turn the ignition on, let me bring you in, the fuel gauge goes to maximum, even though there'd be no fuel in it. And we've traced it, we tried to work it out. It's one wire, and we just can't work it out. So we walked away from that for a little bit because I need to do some research. If anybody does know, leave us a comment, although by the time you've watched this video and left a comment, we've probably already got a solution. But if you know a solution, put it down below and we'll tell you whether you were right or wrong.
Engine bay.
Engine bay. The vent tube is on, the washer tube is now on into the airbox, which is full of oil. Mick's done all the electrics for us into the brake servo, the choke lead cable, the breather and the vacuum tube for the servo. The pump and everything is already in, which you'll have seen from another video. So the engine bay is pretty much done. The only thing we haven't done great news, the bonnet does shut. I thought it might catch. So that's done. Andy has half-assedly masked the mirrors, so we just need to finish that off.
And when we paint, this is all coming off, isn't it? So we're going to take the hoops off, the flags, the Dexian.
Dexian's coming off, and then we're going to bag the inside of the tub. We're going to probably mark it about halfway across, or even just inside the tub, so we can blow over the whole thing. Now the doors and the wings are actually in the right matte colour, but we're just going to mask it all off and just do a blow over the whole thing. Just
to be safe, isn't it? Because the conditions you're painting in can affect it.
Yeah, the mix can affect it.
Your mix in terms of your thinners, your hardener and all that.
And the last thing we want to do is shut the tailgate incorrectly. The last thing we want to do is go to all of the trouble of masking it, because masking it's going to be a fairly big chore. go through all of that, then to take the masking off to reveal that the paint is actually different colours. So we're just going to blow over the whole thing, and then it's all done in the same paint. Then banging.
But he's looking great.
Yeah, he is.
And so the painting's happening on the 26th, isn't it? 26th of July?
Yeah, so by the time this video goes out, the paint will
probably have been done.
Probably have been done, yeah. I can't think how far ahead we are on the videos.
3 in the pipeline, maybe 2. This will be 3.
Yeah, so by the time this video comes out, the paint should be done. And then it's just a case of rebolting him back together. You've got a notification that the hood's been dispatched, so that's coming from Exmoor Trim.
So you should have a nice new khaki FFR turret
109.
FFR 109. We're taking the piss because the product name on the invoice was just massive. It was like turret FFR khaki FFR 109 hood. Canvas. And
there was also the fear of Dave ordering the wrong one and it being for a Defender and a short wheelbase or something. But
got history of it with this here, which is Exmoor Trim's nice acoustic matting, which I ordered because it said 109, 110, but then failed to recognise it said county at the end of it, so it's built for the station wagon.
But that's okay. It's not. That's fine. So hood's coming as well. Not sponsored. That is paid for.
I'd be interested in it to see it. I think the quality will be good.
Exmoor Trim stuff that we've seen so far has been very good.
Good rep.
So yeah, I'm pretty convinced that it's not going to be any half-assed measure. So I think we should be pretty good.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's a huge amount more left to do. Sorry, the steering wheel's gone back on. I don't know whether you'll have seen that, but you will have done because I brought the camera in to look at the fuel gauge. But the steering wheel is done. What else did I fit? The corner piece Andy's put on, that's in and fitted. If you know of or have a corner piece for the dash that's in good condition, let us know, because this particular one has been repaired to fit, but it looks a bit shit.
So the problem, Bob's old one actually looked better than that, didn't it? But we had to take the skin off because it was
rotten.
It was gone behind. The metal had gone, hadn't it? So we had to take it apart and then repair it, which we've fiberglassed it. I think it's on one of the videos way back now.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the skin I found a skin on eBay and thought it looked decent. When it came, it wasn't brilliant. We put that on, but then I think Andy hacked the top, didn't he? Because we had to cut it because the fiberglass where that was.
It fouled with the relay for the washer motor, for the windscreen wiper motor. The dash itself looks pretty good. I mean, it doesn't look brand new, but it looks good. It's
better than it was, isn't it? Like it does look. It looks pretty smart. That main piece where you recovered it looks great.
It's come up okay.
Because we were going to use vinyl, weren't we?
Yeah.
Which we'd got, which I think we've still got.
Yeah, it's in the bottom there and wrapped up.
But yeah,
even so, the problem with the vinyl is it doesn't look original.
Yeah, it looked too modern, didn't it?
It looked way too modern. I mean, you might as well put Alcantara on it or something. It's not right. So we put this one on, and the actual dashboard looks pretty good, but this corner piece looks pretty shit.
Yeah, so if anyone's got a corner piece, let us know. Happily, buy it off you just so that it completes that look, because it is a bit scabby.
But unfortunately, that's what we've got. So it's going to go back together, and we'll make best of it that we can do, and just have to keep an eye out for one of these because they're rarer than rocking horse teeth.
We need to get to some of the LRM
Land Rover parts shows.
The part shows, yeah, and maybe we'll find some gems there.
We've got this door handle needs to be replaced because we've got a new one.
We've got the paint. I could fit that. Is there any point in fitting it? Something else to mask, isn't it?
We've got to mask it and paint this black, haven't we? So we'll leave it on while we paint.
We've got a new one.
Oh yeah, we've got a new one.
Painted, NATO'd it.
Well, in which case we might as well leave this one on, blow over it, and then fit the new one.
Yeah.
Because we can mask that one off easy enough.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll leave.
Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully Bob will be complete by the time you see this one. We are planning to hopefully get him done for the start of August, and then we can do some, what's the word?
Road trips for shakedown.
Shakedowns, that's it. Just a few shakedowns, so like drive it to work, things like that. Just, you know, short distances just to check everything over, and then ready for Tank Trucks and Firepower, which is at the end of August. So fingers crossed we will have him up and running for the start of August. So yes, thank you for watching. If you do want any of our merchandise or DJI equipment, there's some links down below in the description. There's also links down there to Mick's Twitch. He lets us use this fabulous workshop to restore Bob in, and gives us lots of guidance. So if you could go over to his Twitch, if you're on Twitch, and give his stream and channel a follow, that'd be great. And we will catch you in the next video. We upload every Sunday, so see you there.